It's not hard to sell Canada as a holiday destination. In the past few years, its economy has been a lot brighter than ours as well. No wonder George Osborne would want to bring a piece of that Canadian magic to the UK by stealing its central bank chief, Mark Carney. In the past 5 years, Canada's economy has grown by nearly 5%, while Britain's has shrunk by more than 2%. And inflation has averaged just over 1.7% here, compared with 3.2% in Britain. I asked Jim Flaherty, the finance minister who appointed him, whether Mark Carney deserved all of the credit.
When the crisis came in the fall of 2008 in the real economy, he was very effective and very helpful, and we worked as a team together.
Were you sort of cross with George Osborne for stealing him?
Mark and I had talked, so I wasn't shocked. But I was surprised. In fact, he told me in this office that he had decided to go. But George Osborne was good about it. The Prime Minister, Cameron, was good about it. We spoke to each other.
Mark Carney can't take all the credit for what's happened in Canada, but he certainly seems to have won over the press. When you read all the articles that were written here on his last day, calling him the best central bank governor Canada ever had, a financial rock star, even the Wayne Gretzky of central banking. In case you were wondering, Wayne Gretzky was a famous Canadian ice hockey player in the 1990s, when the country was going through what we're going through now. Years of austerity and slow growth, while the government got a handle on its debt. That was painful at the time, but it paid off in 2008, because the government could afford to go all out supporting the economy. Canada was also helped by having old-fashioned banks. In the boom years, they were teased in Wall Street for being too cautious. Not anymore.
We never sort of had the same crisis of confidence that you had in the United Kingdom. And part of it was because the banks had the ability to lend money and wanted to lend money because economic growth was not as severe and the banks were in very strong financial shape.
None of that was Mark Carney's doing, but cutting interest rates was, and he does get credit here for doing it early and often. Like the Bank of England, the Bank of Canada under Mark Carney got interest rates down to very low levels early in the crisis and then kept them there. The big difference is that here in Canada, that policy's worked. It's really got credit flowing through the economy and supported the recovery. But even that success has brought its own problems.
You'll see a home that's very California style with fantastic...
A lot of that money flowed into rising house prices. It helped give the economy more of a feel-good factor, but even estate agents here are now worried that prices have risen too far too fast.
They took advantage of it, and they're always thinking positive, and some of them are feeling the pinch. And if there's a little increase in interest rate or change in the economy, I hope I'm wrong, and they don't have to pay the price.
So maybe Mark Carney is lucky as well as clever, leaving Canada when things are starting to slow down. But good luck is another thing George Osborne is surely keen to bring to the UK. Stephanie Flanders, BBC News, Toronto.